Well, what's new? What's new is an organization called the New Deal, which is kind of an old term, but a new organization that's been formed by, among others, Governor Martin O'Malley of Maryland, Democratic governor, just reelected in this last election when a lot of Democrats did not do that well.
That was an exciting one.
Governor, tell us about this new group you're putting together.
Well, I'm one of the two co-chairs. Mark Begich, Senator Begich from Alaska, called me up and asked me to be a part of this. And this is an effort really to network with a new emerging group of leaders who oftentimes don't have a forum where they can come together, share ideas, innovative public administration, and the solutions that really make government work, especially in facing these challenges. So I think sometimes, especially when one's party has control of the White House, it's easy to lose sight of the importance of bringing up a farm team, if you will, and that next generation of leaders, and sharing ideas and cross-pollinating.
You're a governor, he's a senator. We don't often see these things with governors and senators getting together. How did that come about?
Well, we had also actually met when we were both mayors, and we remembered in those days with the U.S. Conference of Mayors, we never even knew whether a person usually was a Democrat or Republican. There's no Democratic or Republican way to turn around a city, make it cleaner, make it safer. And we felt that there was just a need for this sort of resonant space where people could come together, not as congressional leaders or as governors, but really across the spectrum, especially since some of the most innovative ideas are happening and being implemented in municipal government, city government, county governments. And oftentimes those leaders are off the radar screen of media and that's focused on Capitol Hill and what goes on in Washington.
So what exactly will you do? I mean, how do you envision this? Is this you'll hold news conferences? You'll do, but how does it work?
Well, we hope to make great use of social media and the internet really to make the connections across the country, to share best practices, and to come together from time to time, face to face, in forums where people can talk about their ideas, talk about their experiences, talk about the good things they're doing in innovative ways, whether it's public-private partnerships to rebuild infrastructure, whether it's using technology to attack violent crime, or whether it's in creating jobs and clean and green energy and those industries. So,
well, you're a Democrat, he's a Democrat, but I mean, will this be kind of like a lobby group, like a think tank? Will you be trying to influence legislation?
No, I think it's what we're trying to do with this, Bob, is really look beyond sort of the issues of today to really take a broader view of what's coming over the horizon in terms of where our country's headed, where public administration's headed, where our common platform of making progress, namely our government, is headed. It's an effort to really kind of pull people together to think in a longer term view about where we're going, the choices we're making, so that we can create jobs and also make progress. It's a way for people that are pro-job growth and also progressives to come together and share ideas.
Well, let's say you were already in place. Let's say you'd been here for a year or so. What would you be doing in relation to the budget crisis that's going on in Washington right now? Or let's say the choices the president's facing in Libya. Should we rearm the rebels there? What would you be doing in relation to those things?
Well, I think really this organization would be a place where we could all talk about those things, which is valuable. A lot of times when you look at something as challenging as the federal deficit, it almost seems that we focus on 13% of the driver of the deficit without talking about the big things that are truly driving it. And so this will be a space. It's not really a PAC. It's not a political organization that takes positions on a particular piece of legislation or even rallies around a particular candidate. It's really a way to bring people together in common dialogue to try to figure these challenges out. There are no easy answers, and we're not going to arrive at the answers unless we talk about it.
Well, so how does one become a part of it?
Hey, you just sign up. You go on, it's called the New Deal, and we just named 10 leaders from across the country who are our first group of emerging leaders, I guess you would call them, highlighting the ideas that they've brought to the fore and that they're doing. So it's a network, really in the best sense of that word. In times of austerity, I think the one thing that we do have the capacity to do is to become closer in our connections to one another, share best practices, and try to get our heads around these big challenges facing our country.
Well, Governor, we wish you the best.
Hey,
in
thanks
this.
very much, Bob.
Okay.
Thank you.
Governor Martin O'Malley of Maryland, who launches a new program called the New Deal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.